Welcome to another day of practice trading with me. Okay, let's see what's happening. Today we went, or whatever day this was, we went sideways for a good while. This, I would say, was somewhat of a trading range where we just kind of went up and down. But ever since this bar, we seem to be going up. It could be here or it could be here. I'm going to go with this one for now, but we might change that later. Okay, so I'm also going to kind of draw an upper channel. And I'm going to call it something like that. So here we are at the bottom of the trend line. We have come below it, if this is what we call the trend line, then we've come below it a little bit, and we are now re-entering the trend channel. And theoretically, we should be heading up. So actually, before even going anywheres, this might be a good place to enter because we're right here at this trend line. So let's take a look at what my risk to reward ratio would be if I entered here. Okay, now, if I wanted to play it super safe, then I would have my stop loss be one tick below the low of this low because this is the most recent low. But that is a pretty big stop loss. And I mean, I don't know. So maybe I shouldn't take it at all. Maybe that's the argument, but also, sometimes I will do a stop loss of either right below there or right below there. And if I do that, then this gives me a decent risk to reward ratio. I can't get it to be exactly 2. Okay. And do I think that this is... Oops. And so I ask myself, do I think this is a realistic profit target? Yes, I think we could reach that point pretty easily. Here, let me you see, even if we go up, this seems like a very easy to reach profit target. We could probably make it even higher. We could probably go to almost a 3-to-1 risk ratio using this as the stop loss. So now, one thing I need to take into consideration is that if this is my correct trend line, then we did come below it, close below it, and then we're entering back up. So this could mean that my trend line is weakening and that we might see a failure of this trend. So that's something to keep in mind. But then also maybe I drew it incorrectly. Maybe it's more like this. And, you know, actually, I kind of like that better. If I sort of go by the close of these, then this one came really close. I kind of like something like that better, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, do I think this trend line is failing? And at this point, I don't think so. Let me look at this price action that's happened. The thing that makes me, well, I feel pretty good about this entry, or this being my entry. So I'm going to go ahead and buy, even though, you know, we've just started. And let's see what happens. Okay, so we've come back to the trend line. That is okay. That's not super concerning, but what is concerning is that this is like this bar is a shaved head bar, I think it's called, where there is no bottom wick, which makes me worry that we're just going to keep going down right here. But I'm going to stay in the trade at this point because it's common, like this would just be the setup for a second entry, and maybe this is an argument that I should be taking second entries and not first entries, but we'll see. Okay, this makes me feel confident because we have a double bottom at a trend line. So, I mean, if I was learning scaling, if I was at that stage, I think right now I would buy a second contract, but I'm not there yet. Oh, see, that's why I'm not there yet, because this one came down low and it actually went below where I said my stop loss was going to be. But I really feel like, well, I don't know, maybe I should just close out. Because remember I said my safe stop loss would be here. So now the question is, do I think we're, we tried to go for it. Yeah, I don't know. I probably do need to close out of this one at this point. So I'm going to flatten. That's a loss. But this is good actually, because one of the things I was watching, who is it? I was watching, is it Tim or Tom Hugard? Oh shoot, I can't remember his name. Anyways, I have to put it on the screen. I was watching him and he was talking about how the hardest part is that we have to learn to be comfortable with the losing. Like, I'm going to lose. Anybody that trades is going to lose. Even if you're a really great trader, I think they say about 70% of your trades will be winners if you are really excellent at it. So that means 30% of your trades will be losers. So you have to become okay with those losers and okay with cutting those losses and not like having hope that, oh, maybe it'll turn around and like letting it get even worse. So I'm practicing that and we're going to see what else happens. Okay, I mean, maybe we're turning right back around. And if we are, okay, we are. So if I would have stayed in, then I would be okay. And I would now be profitable, but that's okay. This is just now another place for me to enter. So I will enter again here. This time my stop loss will be there. Yeah. And my profit target will be, see, like I'm in a not as great of a place right now because I entered higher, but that's okay. And I will buy again. All right. Uh-oh. Now I'm starting to wonder if this trend line really is failing, because we seem to not be able to get, like, we're trying to get back above that trend line and we're just not able to. Okay. I need to cut this loss as well. So that's 2 in a row. That's okay. All right. So this trend line is failing. This probably was the correct trend line for this to have been a touch point, and then this came below it. And remember I said like that made me worry that this trend line was starting to lose its validity, and that was the case. And we are now just exiting that trend line. Okay, so now let's see what we're doing, what kind of thing we're in right now. And we're getting to the point, what time is it? 7:10. We're getting to the point, we're getting closer to where I don't really like to trade because it's a little too volatile for me. So we seem to just be going down, down, down right now. I'm kind of expecting a trading range, but also with us coming into the regular market session, it could be that this downward trend, which right now this downward trend is not a huge, you see how it's like small bars, we could start to get bigger bars going down. That's possible. Okay, I'm kind of surprised that we still have such small bars. Like the bars are 11 points. And it is, I wonder if this was a news day and everybody's holding back, waiting for the news. Okay, maybe we're heading up. So maybe this is a trading range. Maybe we're having a trading range, something like that. Oh, I hate the way, okay. Anyways, we'll see. This is some really low volume for 820. I'm surprised. Okay, that one is a little bit more volume, but still not that much. And I can tell by down here, I don't know, I added this thing that I find useful. I don't know if it's helpful to other people, but it tells me the bar, how many points the bars are, or like the average of the bars. All right, so no, that's one before market open. Here, this should be market open. Okay, so I believe we will probably have a bit of a trading range for a minute. Okay, let's see if we can break above this line. Oh, barely. Okay, all right, now I can see a trend of some sort. What time is it? It's 8:50. Still not a place where I'm normally comfortable trading, but I'm trying to work on expanding my time. Okay, so it does look like we are in an upward trend now. So maybe this was just a small pullback and maybe we're going to resume this upward trend. Yeah. So I'm waiting for us to form a new low. Okay. Maybe it's like this, because what I was waiting for was a little pullback for us to keep going. Let's see. If I enter here, I do have to have a fairly large stop loss. But I think that's possible. Let's see. Okay. I want to close there because that's good enough for me. But I'm trying to... Yep. Okay, now I'm going to flatten there. That one was it. Let me write that price down. Okay, so now I have made 3 trades for the day. 2 of them were losers, but I still had a profit of $640 for the day. So, and also I got to practice a few things that I wanted to work on practicing. I got to practice losing, and I got to practice trading in a different time of the day than what I'm used to. So to me, this was a very successful practice day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.